Last in my video we gone through the first come first serve scheduling algorithm and shortest job scheduling algorithm. In today's video I'm going to deal with round robin scheduling algorithm. So this round robin scheduling algorithm is designed especially for time sharing systems, and this algorithm will be in a round robin manner. Means the ready queue will be in a circular queue itself. So whatever the processing systems, after processing each one, again it is going to be added. Means we know that, for example, here the p1 is the burst time is 6, but if we have some time slice or a time quantum which is around like a 3, so this time quantum is nothing but it is a small unit of time. So if p1 process has the burst time of 6 but the time quantum or time slice is 3 seconds, so what happens, the process p1 will process or execute in 3 milliseconds, but still it is left over with another 3 milliseconds. So that remaining 3 milliseconds again it will come forward when after the p4 is executed. Like that, p1, p2, p3, p4, again it start with the p1. So like this we are maintaining the process execution in circular manner. So to have in a bin detail done, I'm going to solve one problem here. Let us take the process p1, p2, p3, p4. Burst time is 6853 and time slice is given as a 3. We can call it as a time slice or a time quantum. Now as I said before in the scheduling algorithm, let's draw the Gantt chart for this. So if we draw the Gantt chart, p1 is a starting one, so it's initially start with 0. So the time slice is 3. Okay, so this is the small unit of time where the process is going to be executed. So from 0 to 3 the p1 is going to be executed, but what happens, actual burst time is 6. So what happens remaining, that 6 minus 3, so 3 milliseconds is left over in the p1 process. So this leftover p1 will be added at the last of the processing stage. Next is the p2, which is the 8, but we have a time slice of 3. So what happened, that before the time will be added, that is waiting for total, it becomes as a 6. But here what happened, p2 will becomes 8 minus 3, that is 5 milliseconds will be there. Okay, similarly if we go for p3 itself, again the burst time is higher and the time slice is 3, so 6 plus 3 it will become 9. But here what happens, p3 is 5 minus 3, that is 2 milliseconds will be left over in p3. And p4 the time is 3 and burst time is 3, so in 3 milliseconds, that is 3 plus 9, 12 milliseconds it is going to be completed its task. Okay, so here we can see that the p4 will be 0 milliseconds, the task is completed, p4 task is completed. But again what happens, still we have left over 3 milliseconds in p1, 5 milliseconds in p2, 2 milliseconds in p3. So again what we have to do, again it is going to be in circular manner executing p1. So now what is the leftover time with the p1? p1 leftover time is 3 milliseconds. So what it will do, it will add with its 12, so it becomes 15 here. Then p2, observe here, p2 5 milliseconds is there, but time slice is 3. Again what happens here, it is going to be minus, that is 5 minus 3, it becomes 2 milliseconds. Again 2 milliseconds is left over here. So before that what we are going to do, 15 plus 3, 18. Okay, so next p3, which is having 2 milliseconds, so 2 milliseconds means which is less than time slice, so add this 2 to 18, it becomes 20. And we are left over with p2, 2 milliseconds. Here p1 is completed, p3 is completed, but still p2 has 2 milliseconds, that's why add here p2, so it will becomes 22. So I'm redrawing the Gantt chart here. So it becomes p1, p2, p3, p4, p1, p2, p3, and last will be the p2. I'm just redrawing, guys. 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 20, 22. This is the Gantt chart for the given problem. Now what we have to do, we have to solve the waiting time. So we all know the waiting time is the time taken for the process to be where the process is waiting for its execution. So if you consider here P1, the waiting time is 0. Okay, and again from 3 to 12 it is waited, means 0 plus 12 minus 3. Okay, it becomes 9 milliseconds. Similarly, P2, it is 3 is the waiting time, but observe here 15 is the waiting time, 20 is the waiting time, also 6 is there. Means here what happens, 3 plus from 15, from here from 6 to 15 it is waiting, means 15 minus 6 plus again 20 to 18 it is going to be wait, means 20 minus 18. It becomes 17 milliseconds. Which one? P2. P3 is 6 plus, here 18 is there, waiting time. From 18 to it has been waited up to 9. So it becomes 15 milliseconds. Similarly, P4 directly it has been executed. Again, only 9 is the waiting time. So 9 milliseconds. Now what you have to do, average all this one. Means 9 average waiting time is equal to 9 plus 17 plus 15 plus 9 by 4. You are going to get 12.5 milliseconds is the average waiting time for given problem. Similarly, now we have to find out the turnaround time. So if you go on for turnaround time, so I am going to take P1 as a turnaround time. So observe here guys, in the given question, the turnaround time is nothing but the time completed for the execution. It is the time taken for completion of the execution. So if you observe here in the question, so this is the turnaround time taken for P1, and also turnaround time is 15. Why? Because 2 times it is going to repeat. So how we are going to take? We are going to take 3 plus 15, nothing but 18 milliseconds. Similarly, if I go for P2 you are going to have 6 plus 18 plus 22, right? So means turnaround time is nothing but the time taken for completion. So P2 takes 6 milliseconds one time, 18 milliseconds another time, and last 22 milliseconds. So it is going to be taken in that manner. Okay. Similarly, if you take for P3, it's going to complete the task around 9 and then 20. But P4 is going to complete as 12 milliseconds. So write in all those things. I'm writing P2, it's going to take us 6 plus 18 plus 22, which is 46 milliseconds. And P3 is 9 plus 20, it is 29 milliseconds. P4 is 12 milliseconds. Now average the turnaround time. So just nothing but 18 plus 46 plus 29 plus 12 by 4. If you sum up all those things, you are going to get around 26.25 milliseconds. This is the turnaround time. This is the solution for finding the scheduling algorithm, round robin scheduling algorithm. Okay, thank you.